Welcome, viewers. Welcome to the SMS show, Sharad Mohan Show, July 22nd, 2025. It's Tuesday. I thought it's almost 3:28 Central Time, 4:28 Eastern Time. Many of you would be planning to rush home after your long day work. So, thoda sa something lighter to discuss. So, I brought three stories for you. Um, this is a roast. So, let me put a disclaimer before I start my story. The three stories which I will be presenting today, the disclaimer is this is a roast based on the information available on these global network, which is internet or internet, whatever you call it. And the story goes like this. If you see the title, it says, Did Coca Cola, one of the most liked drinks of the world, Prada, Prada is missing from the title, but I'll have the story of Prada and Bill Gates when he was a school dropout young teenager working with Steve Jobs of Apple. And did did all these name suggested copy anything from, in case of Coca-Cola and Prada, mango. Now mango represents a country here, so mango comes from where? India. So did Coca-Cola copied something from India? Did Prada copied some of the design from India? Did Bill Gates copied something from Steve Jobs, Apple, or did they both copied or were influenced rather from Xerox PARC project? We'll discuss all those things as we proceed. So again, disclaimer: this is a roast. Okay, so enjoy the thumbnail, a lovely thumbnail. It was created by Chat GPT with all the information I fed it. So I loved the way Chat GPT is doing the work. It's going to take a lot of jobs, guys, lot of jobs, or rather, it will transform a lot of jobs. Let me put it in that way. Okay. So I will be sharing one small presentation I made for you guys. And let me go to the slide number one. Okay. Cheating or copyright violations. Is it because the judicial systems in democracies, and I mean across the world, are a drollery or a bunch of mavericks? Again, is it because the judicial system is in a democracies are a drollery or bunch of mavericks? In the Indian language, Hindi, it's read like this: धोखाधड़ी या कॉपीराइट उल्लंघन क्या ऐसा इसलिए है क्योंकि लोकतंत्र में न्यायिक प्रणालियां हास्यप्रद या मनमानी पूर्ण होती है? And the story will cover how the original recipe of Coca-Cola was made. Was this just an inspiration or directly copying from a mango land? Did Apple, did Microsoft, when Bill Gates was starting his company, did his window platform or Windows platform, yeah, was inspiration of Steve Jobs, Apple's Macintosh. And the third story is, did Prada copied the design of Kolhapuri chappals? So are they a chappal chor? Kolhapuri is a famous brand in India, in the western region of Maharashtra. There is a place called Kolhapur, and this chappal is a traditional Indian attire or a slipper worn with the Indian attire, or it goes with any dress. It looks very fancy. So here I am. I got an opportunity in July this year to go to Atlanta headquarter, and you see, this is yours truly. This is the Apple Coca-Cola's testing lab, where you can taste world's like n number of Apple. Sorry, I'm keep on repeating Apple, Coca-Cola, different flavors. So it's a great museum. You'll see the evolution of Coca-Cola as a product, the various visionaries, the great businessmen, all those stories. But they also have a vault and a museum where the story which I will be bringing got that inspiration. Again, my story was taken directly from Coca-Cola Museum, which I traveled this July 2025. Okay. By the way, you should visit this testing facility there. You will at least have 40, 50, or maybe 100 plus different flavors of Coca-Cola across the world, from China, from Latin American countries, from Africa, from India, from Europe. Awesome, awesome. So moving on. So here, what I'll do is I'll show you the video. So we went to this museum, and there were a lot of chronological order posters in displayed. And one of the posters that stuck my mind or catch my imagination is, if you see this in the picture, it says India created by, so Apple original recipe was created by a businessman who produced a drink in 1883. And again, they have put it in a very different form by giving this was the era when British was ruling India, and Calcutta was the capital of India before 1857. First war of independence happened, and then capital was moved to New Delhi. So the Bengal province, which was a huge province at that time, right? There was no state as such. So Bengal province, which was part of India, had multiple modern states, which is the Bihar, the Jharkhand, West Bengal, East Bengal, which is now a new country called Bangladesh. All these, and Jharkhand, right? And Orissa, all these formed a Bengal region, and Calcutta was the capital, being a port city. So the British arrive in India, and then, you know, how they came for basically trade, and then they weaponized the trade, which we are seeing today, weaponizing of the trade, and then uh, entering the country, and then they ended up governing that country for 100 plus years, around 150 years or so. I think 1857. I think it's a Battle of Palasi and Battle of Buxar around 1764, 1757 or 75. Sorry, 75 is when they actually got hold of a larger chunk of the Indian land. At no point the entire India, only for 50 to 70 years, most part of India was under the British. But whatever is the story, they ruled for 100 years approximately. When I say 100 years, it means the entire stretch, right? From Afghanistan, Pakistan, to the entire Indian subcontinent, including the Myanmar, which is Burma, all those places. So let me share this. I did share this video. I wanted to share one video here. Okay. So
The photographer requested a shot of many posing.
So what this video is, you know, as a visitor to this museum, you can do the shooting. So they allow you to shoot and take the pictures, make videos. And this is the video which I made of my story number one. Okay. See on the wall was very clearly written. They're given this Indian person. There's a British colonial master sitting on the sofa in the country of this guy who is sitting on the floor, and they are doing some bargain here, right? And this guy is supposed to be the original creator of Coca-Cola in 1883, because India was known as the land for spices, a lot of food because of the kingship here. There was like, and some of the knowledge of the recipe was only confined to particular kings, chef, or this guy. And it's they mentioned that it's a whisper, the formula, the originator in India, and created by this businessman, the drink, blah blah blah, all the story here, okay. And to save themselves, the British, these guys left India in very quickly after the bargain happened. So that's what this video is. Real formula for Coca-Cola. To protect the secret formula, Coca-Cola voluntarily left India for nearly 2 decades. Interesting. Back to my first screen. It's so interesting that the Coca-Cola, which has inspired the entire world, the original recipe came from India, and there was no copyright violation at that time because it was all British masters. Interesting, isn't it? So that was the story number one. Now, moving on to my next story. This is regarding the Kolhapuri chappal. Again, it's a slipper, and the case has been put. It's on allegation. Again, this is a roast, so I'm just saying: is Prada a chappal chor? Chor, it means thief. So are they stealing the slippers? So some of the allegation which the Kolhapur company have has made on Prada is listed here. Central allegation is Prada commercially exploited and appropriated the Kolhapuri design. And this they did in spite of Kolhapuri chappal having a GI registration. GI registration is a tag given by the country to identify a product tagged to a particular region. So this is also a second violation, which is the law of the land. Third is design imitates traditional craftsmanship. So around 500 crore damage has been demanded. Prada initially said no, but on July 27th, 2025, they put a notification or message saying that Prada debuts men's 5526. This is a product number collection in Milan, Italy. They acknowledged the inspiration from traditional Indian footwear. So the case is going on in the Indian court. Let's see. The initially the judges were not very keen to take this case because this will be a cross-border kind of a situation where there's a lot of geopolitics plays in. So this is where it is. Story number three, which is very interesting. When Bill Gates was young, and there's a lot of movies which has been made in Hollywood, where a young school dropout but very talented boy, Bill Gates, who eventually ended up starting one of the greatest company of the mankind, Microsoft. So Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, they worked together. Steve Jobs was obviously very super talented natural guy. He had a death due to cancer. He did travel to India. He was very talented American boy. He was also young, but he was senior to Mr. Gates. So they were both working on some projects, and the allegation says that Apple's Macintosh platform was copied. The GUI, the grapher user interface, was copied by Bill Gates. Now, when the case was filed, and that's the heading of my program where judiciary very smartly, as if they are a programmer, they said, oh, wait a minute, yeah, agreed, there are 5 items which was unique to Apple, but two of the items cannot be said unique because he did some modification, so it cannot be said that it was a copy. Will they say same thing with the copy which China is doing with all international defense related things? Probably not. So again, there's a two different yardstick to measure people. So that's the story here. The question of whether Bill Gates copied Steve Jobs' work to build Microsoft, especially on the context of Windows operating system, has long been intrigued by the tech world. The answer, however, is more complex. It's not that straightforward than a simple acquisition of copying. However, from a perception perspective, the significant majority people say yes, it was copied. We leave it on that because it's for Mr. Steve Jobs' company, Apple, and Microsoft to figure out. These things have already been closed. There was a close collaboration in 70s, and it said that they both were in fact influenced by Xerox PARC project, which was called Palo Alto Research Center. And this was the time when the graphical user interface was being developed across the world, which featured windows, icons, and mouse pointers. I would say Bill Gates did not copy Steve Jobs' work in the sense of outright theft. Both men drew heavily from Xerox innovations. The history is one of mutual influence, competition, and parallel development rather than simple copying. So we'll keep the story like that. Now, what does the ancient Indian text says about this? And I searched on the Vedas and I found in the ancient Sanskrit itinerary criticism, which is called Kavya Shastra, plagiarism is described as appropriation of another work without proper acknowledgement. This is an act notably criticized as Pratibimb Kalpa. Pratibimb Kalp, right? This is what the Sanatan Dharma says. That this is viewed as a serious violation of creative and intellectual ethics, underscoring the importance of creating sources. From a broader Hindu perspective, plagiarism is equated with dishonesty, cheating, and misappropriation, which undermines not only the scholarly merit but also individuals' dharma, which is righteousness. Presenting other ideas of words or creation as one's own without proper citation or paraphrasing is seen as is a breach of satya, truthfulness, a core tenet of Sanatan Dharma. So that is the story. I thought you guys will like it. Please do subscribe to this channel. There will be many such stories which we'll be bringing across the world. And as I travel with my team, there's more stories which will come. So please do subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaskar.